We are currently in Kawakawa to check out the public toilets built and designed by the famous artist Friedensreich Hundertwasser.
This is cool.
He chose the small town as his second home and used to spend the New Zealand summers here.
Very nice.
In fact, he spent most of the last 30 years of his life working and living in Kawakawa, and also became a New Zealand citizen.
Oh, there's.
After a very productive visit of the toilets, we continued looking for art by Hundertwasser in Kawakawa. Everything seemed to have his touch. We became particularly interested in a huge Hundertwasser themed mural. Convinced that the mural was done by the great artist himself, we took a keen interest and went on filming it, especially the inspirational quotes that were all over the place. By complete chance, the principal and teacher of a local Kawakawa school, responsible for producing the mural, walked past and started talking to us.
You know, which is just a little thing, but it's a huge thing in the context of Hundertwasser.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we made this mural, we only had 50 children in the school. You know?
Okay.
And that was an optimum size for us because it allowed us to have 3 classrooms with small numbers of kids. So you can do lots with them, you know, rather than having a class full of 30 kids and not being able to have that individual time with the teacher.
Yeah.
And our school is special in that it's a small school, but it's set in a bush setting. So we've got 7 hectares of bush around the school.
Okay.
So our children are encouraged to go and climb trees, go and play down
Beautiful.
the bush. So some days, if you're the teacher on duty looking after the kids, you've got to go down the bush because there's no one on the playground. You know, they're down the bush making huts, fighting over sticks, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it just builds a different type of child. I don't know whether you can understand that.
I can understand.
But it does. But they're
Definitely.
totally relating to nature. We're a Maori community where the school is. So the marae is the centre of our school, of our community.
Yeah.
And so that's why the marae is in the middle of the community. So that's the marae. It's a meeting house, the central point of the community.
Okay.
You know, in the Polynesian villages, they're all centred around the one meeting house, the big house.
Yeah.
That's the same thing in Maori culture. It's the marae is the centre of their universe, if you like.
Okay.
Kotahitanga is a guiding value of we're all one. We may be different colours, different religions, different races from different countries, but we're all one.
Yeah.
So that's kotahitanga. Manakitanga is treating others as you would like them to treat you. So if you're the host, the way that you host people reflects back on you.
Yes.
So if you're a good host, then
People will host you.
will like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaitiakitanga is guardianship of everything
Yeah.
in nature.
So the nature will guard you back.
Responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are responsible.
Tohungatanga is a deeper one. Tohungatanga loosely means a reader of signs or a user of technology nowadays.
Yeah.
Every Maori village in the old days had a tohunga who's like, I'm guessing loosely, it's a witch doctor in other countries. That tohunga was very respected. He was hand-fed. He was not the chief, but he was very important in the village, and it was his job to interpret the signs of nature, of when it's good to plant, of when it's not good to plant, of when it's good to go and raid other villages, when it's not. So tohungatanga nowadays is loosely saying it's a person who's able to interpret the signs that are going around. Rangatiratanga is leadership, and ukaipo is nurturing, to be nurturing. Ukaipo actually refers to mother's milk, like a mother feeding her child, nurturing her child. Whanaungatanga is like treasuring family, building relationships.
Okay.
And we've got kotahitanga again. It's
Just
one.
to-
Everyone is part of the whole.
Close it.
We're all in the same boat.
Yes.
Okay.
That's really inspirational. It's something perfect, really. And it's really nice to teach children things like that. It's so important. It's really important.
It's amazing how much support it's had.
Yes.
And how many people come and stop and have their photo taken for it.
Yes.
The Asian people especially. You know, we've
Yes.
had wedding parties up in heaven.
I'm quite sure that most people think it's done from Hundertwasser, because we thought the same. We thought it's made from Hundertwasser. We didn't realize that this is not from Hundertwasser.
No, he made the toilet. Not
He
to take
made the
anything away
toilet.
from there.
So how did this mural come to be?
As part of our journey to make children or bring children closer to nature, we were doing plays about birds and different types of birds and their stories in Māoritanga, in Māori. So we wanted a backdrop for the play. So one of my teachers asked her sister, who's an artist, to come up from Tauranga, which is down in the North Island further south, to come up and put a backdrop together. So she did, and she painted it on, well, her and the children painted it onto building paper, which is a product you put underneath the roof on a house. It's not meant to last long. But once we'd finished the mural, it was too good to throw away. So we entered it into an art competition, which just happened to be on, and it won a prize. And so we were able to put that prize and fundraise for some more money to put it into a more permanent sort of format, which is how this came about. And so we got the whole community involved in coming along and up to the school and having a go at putting one of these on, or painting one, or making one of the ceramic eyes. And so we had old people, young people, we even had a dog. There's actually dogs' footprints on here, because everyone who made the mural or had a go put their handprint on it.
Yeah.
And so there's actually a paw print of the dog. The dog's name was Max. So it was a really big community effort to make it. And when we put it here, like, we thought it would maybe last for 2 or 3 years, and then people would get bored with it and we'd have to take it down, because that was the deal we made. We could put it up, but we had to take it down when it deteriorated. But it's been so popular, the whole town sort of adopted it. So we've gone through the stage of me having to come down every day and looking to make sure it's all right, to having people saying it's all right, we're watching it.
Yeah.
You know, they've the business communities put up lighting as a sort of a security measure, but at night it sort of backlights the highlights the mural.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and Hundertwasser, the man who it's based on, lived locally. Like, the school is Karetu, but the area is called Karetu, and he had a house about 5 or 6 k's away from the school.
From the school? Yeah.
Yeah, and he worked closely with a couple of the locals from the area, so he was part of we'd adopted him, you know, just as he had adopted the Bay of Islands as his home in New Zealand, we sort of adopted him. And so it was important that we celebrate his life through the artwork, if that's at all possible. And to do the artwork, we had to ask permission from the Hundertwasser Trust in Austria, and they've actually taken it on board too. They love it, and they sent us back a letter of congratulations for doing it and for just putting the thought into Hundertwasser. So it's been really successful. So long may it last.
And you are a teacher at a school?
Yes, I'm a teacher. I'm the principal, the headmaster of the school.
Okay, and what's your name?
My name is Ken Timperley.
Due to all the interesting information that Ken provided during this interview, especially his commitment to creativity and art with his students, we were very excited to continue this spontaneous documentary. Even though it was his holiday and we just met while he picked up a coffee, Ken was more than happy to do so.
So Ken,
Yes.
where are we?
We're at Karetu School, in the middle of Ngāti Manu, which is the local sub-tribe of the area. So on our school name,
Right.
the centerpiece is our pā, which is where the old Maori village was.
Right.
And the pā's name is Puke Tohu Noa, and it's just over there, behind those trees.
Awesome. Should we go inside?
Let's. So an interesting piece here. We expect our cows to read.
You expect cows to read?
We expect our cows to read and respect that we don't want them inside the gate.
I think you may have more intelligent cows in New Zealand than we do have in Switzerland.
So I just wanted to show you that the tiles that the children had made. So again, it's that looking at nature and celebrating the beautiful things in nature. So the children all made a tile, which we've mounted on the front of the school. Just
So
taking
each,
something.
Each tile was done by one student?
Yeah, yeah. So you can tell we're not a very big school. Yeah. Although we're popular at the moment, we started off with I think 52 children when we made the mural in Kawakawa, and at the end of last year we finished with 73 students.
Wow. Is there more than one school in Kawakawa?
There is. There's a big primary school in Kawakawa, and there's a high school in Kawakawa as well.
Right.
But we're one of a few small schools that are surrounding the area.
Is it a private school?
No, it's not a
It's
private school.
public.
It's a public school. The government tried closing it in 2004. The minister tried to close it just to rationalise the number of schools around.
Right.
But this local community got really got behind the campaign and saved their school, and now it's one of the biggest little schools around the area. So. Right, so this is the school garden.
That's just awesome.
So the children, again, it's all part of that getting back to nature and teaching them about sustainability. Each child's got their own tire, or they share it with a friend. They grow whatever vegetables they can, and then when the vegetables are ripe, they take them home and eat them, or they prepare something here.
So Ken, what about these tires? Can we go have a look?
Sure.
Awesome.
So we're entering the spiral. The spiral is actually another shape from nature. In fact,
Sure.
it comes from the Maori word koru.
Koru.
Yep, which is that there is a punga tree, a tree fern,
Looks like a big fern, yeah.
and the young sprouts come out of the tree and turn into a koru.
A koru. Of
Yeah.
course they do.
So we've just imitated the sign from nature.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay, so each of the children has got their own tire, or they share it with a friend. Their job was to paint. Obviously, Hundertwasser was right into colours,
Right.
and they've decorated their tire, and it's their own special little garden. Yeah. So
That's fantastic. And each student has one tire, you said?
Yep.
And once the kids get out of school, they can take their tire with them?
no, they don't.
They
No, they don't. The tire seems irrelevant when they move on to onto high school or leave schools. But they will come. They can come in here at any stage and tend their own little garden, pull out
That's
the
awesome.
weeds. You know, it's just a.
Do you know if any students have gotten interested into gardening, or they have started their own little garden at home because of this project?
Oh, we've got one little boy who's right into it. You know, if he'll come to my house and he'll eat loquats, which is a fruit. You know, he'll take home all of the seeds and he'll grow all the seeds. So
That's so cool.
yeah,
It must be awesome to be inspiring young people to do something that...
it is neat. It's just like someone magically being able to read from one day to the next. You know, the light goes on. When you see that glow in their eyes, that's something they've managed to do or something they've grown, you know, or they pick up a tomato and think, I've grown that, you know, and eat it. It's magic.
It's a fantastic
It's magic.
feeling.
It makes all the hard times worthwhile.
Sure.
Yeah. You know how on the mural in town I was telling you about the school values?
Sure.
There's just another way of representing it here. So called tahitanga, whanaungatanga,
Kotahi-tanga.
tohungatanga, manakitanga.
Yep.
Just taking that shape from nature again.
It's a beautiful flower.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Who came up with the idea of creating a flower with hands?
Just one of the teachers. They have the occasional good idea.
So all teachers are interested in art, obviously, and they try to push this.
They've all got their different bends, you know, their bents or interests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Some are more musical, some are more language orientated, some are arty,
Some are more logical.
some are more logical. Yeah,
You have to teach math as well.
we do. Okay, so I just wanted to go and show you that one more mural that we've got.
Sure.
Okay.
I'd love to see that.
If I can find the right key. So obviously it's the holidays.
Yeah.
Everything's cleaning up. Everyone's cleaning up. But I just wanted to show you that mural. If I can find it.
It's not hanging yet.
Right. So the original of the mural was done on builder's paper.
Right.
This is the original. This
That's
is the original.
original.
Yeah. So these are the panels from the mural. You see it?
That's just fantastic.
That's the original mural. There's about 9 panels.
That's so cool.
And so when we made it, we just felt it was too much of a taonga, too much of a treasure to just throw away.
Yeah, sure.
So we had to do something with it.
And I can imagine it must have been an awesome challenge to then have a wall and be able to
Yeah.
copy it onto with new materials.
It was stuck up around this room here, around the walls. But last year we repeated the bird plays. So again, we needed the backdrop. So we used it again.
Nice.
You know, recycling.
Yeah, always. That's
Recycling.
right.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Is this going to go up somewhere? Or this will probably...
We might put it back up in here.
Fantastic.
That's
And
it.
then is there another piece that you wanted to show us?
I did. Behind this picture over there is another one that's going to go up in the front of the school. Not every mural is a success. I don't like this one,
Right.
but the one behind it is brilliant. If we go this way. So this one's actually going to go up on the front of that building here. We're replacing those windows.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it has to stand the test of time. The colours have to stand the test of time.
Mm.
So this was also a big collaborative effort?
No, this was just done with 2 groups of children from here, with the idea of actually just putting it up around the school to beautify the school. But it tells a beautiful story of because you know the eels migrate.
I didn't know that.
Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
So our New Zealand rivers are full of eels,
Yeah.
long-finned eels and short-finned eels, and they migrate. When they're adults, they migrate all the way from New Zealand over to the I think it's called the Mariana Trench off Tonga.
The deepest.
Yep.
Or
And they breed there.
unbelievable. And they come back.
They come back.
So this mural symbolizes the stream of the eels going.
Just the migration of the eels.
Yeah.
And the young eels, which are called elvers.
Yeah. And the symbols here, are they Maori symbols?
They're Maori symbols, yeah. You can see the koru again.
Oh yeah. Well, this is a symbol that we've seen on the highway quite a lot. And I thought this is a symbol that there is surf.
If you think of that tree fern and the new shoots, they go into a koru.
They go into that. Awesome. Yeah, it looks like a wave too.
Yes. Yeah, Teresa Rayhana, who's a local artist, came in and did a couple of sessions with the children.
Any future endeavors for the school?
No, we're just going to carry on doing what we think we do well. The main thing is there is a Maori saying that you can't move forward unless you appreciate where you've come from. So our journey with the murals in town and with these murals here is relating to nature, but also giving the child knowledge of their place.
Yeah.
And once they've got that strong base of who they are and where they come from, they feel comfortable. And that if you're comfortable, then you can grow. You can spend more time growing outwards. And so in Māoridom again, everyone should understand their whakapapa, which is their genealogy. And so a part of that is each child at Karetu school learns what is called their pepeha. It's a speech. It's a speech of introduction that tells everyone where they're from. So in Māoridom, it's their mountain, their maunga. Here, our mountain is Herangi, which is the highest hill at the end of the valley. And then there's your river, which is Taumata there. It's their river. And then there's their waka, the canoe that their people came to New Zealand in. And for us here, it's Ngā Toke Mata Whaurua. Again, for Ngāti Manu, Karetu, it's their pā, their village, the first village, which is Puke Tohu Noa, which is over the valley. and then there's their marae, which is Karetu, and then they start with their grandparents. And so if you're Maori, or you know anything to do with New Zealand, then as soon as you hear those things, you can say, I know where that person comes from. They might even know the family name, you know, which is really great. It's empowering. I remember because I'm actually from Ngāti Manu. I was born in Kawakawa, but my Maori blood comes from Ngāti Manu. And I can remember the first day that I got up and said my mihi or my pepeha on the marae, I was a mess. I just cried and cried and cried because it was such a meaningful thing for me.
Sure.
You know?
That's beautiful.
So it's giving the children those ties that they can grow from, the roots, if you like.
Their heritage.
Yeah, yeah. Nurturing the seeds so that when they grow, when they leave here, they can just grow, blossom.
That was a beautiful statement. Thank you so much for showing us around your school. It was truly an insightful experience. We met you at the mural, and now we've had a tour of the school. We wish you all the best for your future endeavors with the kids. We hope that you can teach many more classes to come.
Thank you, Marcel. It's been my pleasure, actually, an unexpected pleasure to meet you guys this morning at the mural.
Indeed it has.
And then again, it's been a pleasure to bring you out to my home, to my school. I'm glad that you've got something beneficial out of it. I hope you get something beneficial out of it.
Absolutely we have.
We're proud of our mural. We're proud of what we do as teachers in New Zealand. So I wish you all the best for your continuing journey.
Thank you so much for your time. Cheers, Ken.
Thank you. Thank you. If I had one message for future generations, it would be respect who you are, respect who you come from, respect your elders, respect your environment, and if to take a quote from Hundertwasser, spread the love.